This is Craft Kit 29 from Tonic Studios. The kits are available on subscription from Tonic Studios if you have a look at their website, and also you can find a link to it down below in the comments about this video. So this one has lots of lovely different cards and paper. There's lovely greens and blush, burnished rose, white, there's textured, glittered and pearlescent, and those are really lovely. The main dies in the set this time are called the dot and drop butterfly set. So they have lots of elements which cut out, but there's also little indentations there, and those leave markings to get your drops in just the right place. And to go along with that, there are vintage drops, crystal drops and glitter drops, and those are really beautiful. I'll be using a lot of those, not only with the butterflies in this set here, but even with the little flowers as well. So there's flowers here and little ones here as well, and some throughout this set. The other thing is the butterflies, because this cuts out a really beautiful butterfly with an outside edge on it. This one then fits inside, and these are the detail dies that make the patterns on the wings. So that's a really lovely addition, and actually those dies will probably be things that I'd be using. You know, these butterflies would be a go-to thing that I'd be coming back to time and time again to add to different cards. You also get card blanks and envelopes this time. They're bright white, and they are there are, what do you see, 10 inside. Really nice size. There are stamps as well, so quite nice things there. They're butterflies, dragonfly, butterfly kisses, spread your wings and fly, special friend, and flowers and leaves that you can use with the dies or even separately. This time they've also added some metallic markers, so there's the colours are rusted bronze, satin silver and gold mine. Those are water based, they're really nice. Now the other thing is silver and rose gold pure sheen sequins, really nice. You can add those to the centre of the flowers, the butterflies, whatever, or even for shaker cards, as you probably well know. And there's also a little hybrid ink pad, and it's Powered Peach. It's really nice. So I think I'll just get started on making a card now and show you what all we can use this for. I already made this card yesterday, so I'm going to try another one today with different colours and different cards from the kit. I kind of like the idea because the shape of the easel in this one reminded me of kind of like a butterfly, so I'm going to try that again today. And for the card base, I've simply taken a piece of A4 card. I have folded it in half, and then on this one half here I have trimmed it so that this part, this side, measures 10.5 centimetres. So I've just taken this piece off at the side and then gone down halfway here and scored from the edge right into the centre. Sorry, I've cut that right into the centre. So there's a slit there. I just made a little score to show me where to go, and then went in with my craft knife. So that leaves two squares which are 10.5 centimetres each. So that's a 10.5 centimetre square, and this is 10.5 centimetre square. And then I have scored on each of them from the outside edge into the centre of the cut line, and I've done that on both. And then that means whenever you turn the card up like this and fold them over, these two pieces fold in, and that gives you that lovely easel shaped card there. So to cover the base of that and to decorate it, I have cut a piece of card here for the pearlescent card, and that measures 20.5 centimetres this way by 14.5 centimetres. I've then cut this really lovely textured cut paper, and it is 20 centimetres by 14, and I'm going to add that to there, and that will then go in here. Then I have taken the same pearlescent card and I have cut a square which is 9.5 centimetres, and cut it diagonally into 2 triangles. Then I have done the same with the textured paper, and I've cut a square of 9 centimeters. Cut it again, and these pieces will go on here, and then I'm going to attach these to these parts. Now, before I attach them, I just want to give a little tip here. I've always found it easier to attach pearlescent card with double-sided tape. That means there's no sort of marks around the edges if you put it too close to the edge. Sometimes you see a little ripple or whatever in the outside if you've used wet glue and that, and maybe got a little too much. So double-sided tape for that one. But because the back of this is textured, I find it quite difficult to, even with the high-tack tape or the white tape, it's quite difficult just to get the backing off it whenever the paper's textured like that. So although I'll use the tape for this one, I always use tacky glue for this one, and then I find that attaches better because the glue goes up into the little grooves, comes back down again, and just gives a really snug fit, whereas it can be quite difficult to get that flat with the tape. So here we go. I've attached all the pieces on now, and that gives a lovely background to put all the die cut pieces on top. So we've got the lovely easel, and there it is. Now I've gone ahead with the large butterfly die and the pearlescent card, and I've cut out this large shape here, and this is what I'm going to use for the stopper, because as you can see here, these pieces will fold flat whenever the card's closed, but you need something to hold them in place here, and I'm going to make a lovely butterfly stopper. So I've used this card with the large butterfly, then I have used that really nice glitter, I think you can catch it there, to cut out the other butterfly that's going to go on top. So this was the outline die, and then I have put the 2 wing detail dies inside and taped them together, and very carefully through the machine with that one. And then I've used the smaller one again with the more green effect sheen card, and because it's going to be the stopper this time, I need to add a little dimension to it, because if it's flat then these pieces will just slide over the top. So I'm going to cut some foam tape and just add it on here, and that will just need to make sure that it doesn't show through any. I've just set it just a little bit too far over there. I snip a bit off. You just don't want any of it showing through where these little decorative apertures are. So there we are. Put another piece in there, and one more in there, and I shall then just put a little drop of tacky glue down the centre of this one and pop that into place. Now just going to bend the wings up slightly, well, quite a lot actually. Pop them on there, and really all I want to do is hold the centre of that down with my pokey tool or whatever you have that will hold that in place, and bend the wings up like so. That'll give you some dimension on that. And then with this little butterfly I'm going to just do the same thing, fold the wings in and then put some glue on the back there. Pop that into the centre, and that gives you a really lovely dimensional butterfly that'll be the centerpiece and also functional as the stopper of the card. I think that's really nice. It's got lots of detail on it and matches really well with the rest of the card so far. So I'm just going to peel this off. So just want to be careful with this now, because I don't want to move the other parts around while they're not stuck down properly yet. There we are. And another little tip I find, again now because this is the foam tape and it's self-adhesive, because of the texture on the card below, I usually add just a little bit of tacky glue on top, and I think that helps just hold it in where the texture is. I don't put too much on, as you can see. But now we'll move the card into the centre. I want to make sure that this is centered correctly here, so I'll hold that down, move these back, and then just slide it up slightly, because you don't want it too far down to the bottom of the card there. Press that down, hold these in place again. Those are just going to take a moment or two to dry, because particularly when wet glue is put onto sheen card or glitter, it does take that little bit longer than it would do with ordinary card. But that's it nicely in place, and as you can see, those wings then will hold these pieces in place. So now I've used lots of the dies from the set, so I've got the large butterfly, and I've used the detail for the wings again, and I have cut out 2 of these large butterflies in the sheen card again. I've also cut out 2 of the glitter ones in the smaller butterfly here, and some flowers and 2 tiny little butterflies. Now I'm just going to use my embossing tool and this little mat to give a little bit of dimension to the flowers, and then I'm going to attach them all onto the card with this tacky glue. So now that everything's glued nicely in place, I'm just going to add some of the glitter drops, the crystal drops and the vintage drops to the centre of the flowers and the butterflies, just to give that little extra detail at the end. When I had all of those added, I thought I needed a little bit extra detail, so I just used this little butterfly and this tiny flower to add some more detail on here and here to both of the sides. So that's the card finished now. There we are. So that's one option with those cards and papers, and the other one that I did yesterday is here, and that has the lovely textured patterned card on there, and just a different colourway of the same card. So I hope you like that, and I hope that inspires you to make something like that whenever your kit arrives. And if you've liked the video, please don't forget to like it and hit that bell at the bottom and subscribe to my channel, and you'll be able to see the kit inspiration before the kits arrive with you each month, and also lots of other creative things that I make. Thanks very much. Bye.